many times do we sit and begin to watch who is coming into our wilderness, who is coming into our camp, who is coming in to see who we are? When the son moves away from the isolated place and comes to join the meal, that means this is a friend. If he doesn't move, even the father of the house, he'll be alert to say this is an enemy. Treat him with caution. These are wilderness experiences. It's a hostile place. It looks friendly, but it's not friendly. Amen. Some of you have entered into companies coming out of a place of goodness. You enter into a company and you discover there are people that look like they've welcomed you, but the son of the company is seated outside the camp and they are watching you. And this son of the company can be your supervisor. And everything you do, they are watching. Everything you are doing, they are reporting. Everything you are doing, they are taking note. And you don't know you are in the wilderness. The only thing you begin to do is complain. Somebody is watching you. Amen. That's the experience of the wilderness. Amen. And if you don't know you have entered the wilderness, you begin to complain. You begin to display your weaknesses. You begin to display things that are going to cause you to be rejected in that place where you are. Hallelujah. As you proceed into this wilderness, you discover certain things that I want you to begin to understand. Because even the Son of God, he had to go through this wilderness. I asked God a question. I said, why did Jesus have to go to the wilderness? One day, I was taken into Jericho. And on the far side of Jericho, just beyond all the cities, there was a huge mountain that has remained very ugly to this very day. And as I stood looking at this mountain, my guide asked me a question. He says, when you look at this mountain, what do you see? I say, I see ugliness. It's one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in Israel. What is this mountain? And he says, this is the mountain of temptation. I said, excuse me? He says, this is the place where the Son of God came to be tempted 40 days, 40 nights. Up there. Do you want to go there? I looked at it. There is no life on the thing. Am I speaking to somebody? It's a place where there are just caves opening. And it tells you that when Jesus was up there, it was complete plain. Nothing was there. It was a wilderness. There was nothing inside. And when I stood on the side of Jericho, I looked at this thing. I said, can somebody live in that thing? And they said, that is where he was tempted 40 days, 40 nights. Now, where would Jesus leave Jericho? A land where people are inhabiting. A land where people are. And go and experience a wilderness. The Son of Man, the Son of God, the Prince of Heaven comes into a wilderness. That was his first training. That was his first school. After he comes out of the water and his father says, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but you may have gone through life and life was sweet for you for a while. And someday God said, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased. But soon after he said, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased. God takes you by the Spirit just as he took Jesus and he throws you into a wilderness. Amen. You need to learn. Amen. Amen. You need to stand. If you claim you're with me, you need to stand. And God throws Jesus into the wilderness, outside the cities of Jericho. And he begins to live in caves. Now, in those caves, you are going to find lions. You are going to find bears. You are going to find foxes. You are going to find creatures that are hunting because they are hungry. Amen. You need to survive those. Some of you, when you're in the wilderness, you play around wolves. Some of you, when you're walking and having a wilderness experience, you start playing around the lions and you don't know that they are hunting, they are trying to kill. So all you do is that your friend starts slowly and say, kuliko nganga outside. You are playing with a wolf. Amen. Amen. Ngatisuna Bireko. Susan Kala. There are some companies that are like that. You need to be careful. Don't play with wolves. Amen. You need to know you need to survive the wilderness. The book of Matthew 4 verse 11 tells us that he was driven out into the wilderness and he began to be tested of God. He began to be tempted of the devil, and the devil knew that this is the only place where I can tempt them. Amen. So a wilderness is a place where there is lack. You have nothing there. Some of you are going through that wilderness experience. You had a good job. You had a good standing. You had a good family. Suddenly, someday, you discover all these things have disappeared. And you are standing in the place where you have to struggle to get a single meal. You have to struggle to raise your rent. You are struggling to raise anything for your mouth. That is a wilderness you are going through. And God says there is a way out. Amen. The number one lesson I want you to learn from a wilderness, and I want you to write this down. A wilderness, because I want us to start praying from here. And I will teach you, and we'll go from teaching to prayer, because I don't want you to forget what you are praying for. Amen. There are some people that need to come out of a wilderness today. Amen. A wilderness is a place of vast land, unused territory. Am I speaking to someone? It's a place where there is a lot of land. You know that the desert is bigger than the land that is inhabited. Who has done their geography? When you look at the maps, you discover that the desert takes up a lot of space. Hello? Amen. Am I speaking to some people?